Hi, sinners, and welcome back. Today, we have another bonus episode for you. We have a very fun special guest. But before we get into that, I'm Tessa with Mama's Geeky. So excited to have you guys back. And I'm here with Rachel and Sophie. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Rachel. I am bouncing around many different sites. Just happy to be here on this pod. Always fun times to chat with some truly great people and provide you all with some truly great content. I do hope you enjoy this episode.
And I'm Sophie. I'm here.
She made it to this one. She had to miss a mirror, if you guys remember.
Yeah, Shift and Miss Amir. We'll have him
Yeah.
back though.
I need to have him back so I can talk to him.
We'll have him back. Don't worry. We'll have my bestie back. Come on.
We would have stayed a lot more on topic and down a straight line if we had Sophie with us.
Yeah,
Instead,
we really that episode really had no fucking
no
guardrails.
We were all
we were just going. We were having a good time.
But it was fun. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming back, and I hope you enjoy. Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to talk about Hazbin.
Listen, this is so fun. We can't wait. I can we just immediately just rip the band-aid off and talk about Val just chopping Vox's head off, because that was amazing.
That still shot is still crazy to me.
It's so good.
Like, oh my god, this
so
was so
great.
badass.
I know. And it's so funny because I don't know what it looks like until I actually watch the episodes,
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of efforts in the booth where you're just like, "Ugh, ah, rah," and then when it all came together, I was like, wow, that's so badass. And I love that Val gets a little like a little season 2 is really good PR for Valentino.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, a lot of people were just like, "Oh wow, I like Valentino now." I was like, "Thank you,
I know. Well,
finally."
literally
That's what
right.
we were talking about.
I was gonna say right before you came in, I was like proud of him. I was like, way to stand up for yourself, Val. And I was like, not that I should like him at all. I should not at all be a fan of the things that man does. But
I know, but you're like, "Yes, good for you, Val," but then also like, "You're still terrible."
I'm
So,
like, you're terrible, but you know
and
what?
that's nuance. That's nuance. That's why watching the show is fun because you're just like, "Ugh, I'm supposed to hate this person, but I like him."
yeah.
You know?
That's one of the things too that just like it's so frustrating getting online and people being like, oh my god, you shouldn't like Val, he's terrible. And I'm like, this is hell. They're all terrible. Should I not
They're
like
all
anybody in
demons.
this show? Yeah, literally. I'm like, everybody is in hell for a reason, guys. I mean, granted, there are some people like Pinchas who didn't deserve to be in hell, but I'm like,
Yeah,
the other people, they're in hell for a reason. Like,
totally.
should we not like Vox? Given,
Yeah, and that's not
Yeah.
and that's not real. That's also not real like discourse online. It's very I'm like, what are you even talking about? When we actually like break it down, people don't actually have a very compelling
they don't.
argument,
Yeah.
you
They
know?
don't. It's literally
It's
just
just the
like, oh
same
well.
thing recycled over and over again. And I'm like, okay, all right, we
Yeah.
get it. We know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Like I'm
Which,
not watching this show for morality.
Right.
and totally. And I'm like, this is also like a TV show for adults. So if this is all too much for you, then perhaps you shouldn't be watching this show.
Yeah.
Like if this is all this might be a bit too mature for you.
Right. It's true though.
then,
I've
then
also I've
perhaps
also
turn
ne
something on.
I've also never been in something that like people are so passionate about and have such like
Mhm.
strong opinions about, and like so that's been really fun and also very, I get a lot of messages on social media of people like I hope that the hate that Val gets doesn't discourage you from like being an actor because like you're really great. And I'm like, that's so sweet of you to say that. Also, like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna quit acting because of this. Like, this is what I live for. This is great. Like the fact
Yeah.
that people are like have such strong opinions.
Yeah.
I'd rather like he's either someone you love or you hate, but you never forget him, and that's what's
Yeah.
great. Like everyone has really strong opinions. No one's ever like, "Oh, who's Valentino?" They're like, "No, they know."
Yeah.
and they have
Yeah.
feelings.
That's true. Yeah, it's not like which character is that? Huh?
Totally.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
So
know.
that's fun.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, as an actor, that's a great. It's like so awesome to be in something that people are so excited about and a character that people have such strong opinions about. Whether I agree with them or not, I'm like, you
Right.
still have your opinion. Like you have, you're entitled to
Yeah.
your opinion. So
Yeah, there's always so much online. Like, have you seen we were just talking about the memes of like Val like playing games on Vox's head? Have you like seen people like
no,
yeah.
Oh my
like he's an
God.
iPad, like he's
Yeah,
an
Yeah, like
iPad now.
that's been like,
oh.
oh my God, that's
Wait,
just
what is
that.
that? Wait, I have to turn this off. I don't know why. Can we
That
turn
was
this off?
perfect timing though, by the way.
I don't know how you turn it off. I don't know how
I
you turn
just
it on.
adjust background and effects. Here
Okay.
it is. I just
Oh, I
have
think we should.
I gesticulate a lot, and this is going to be a problem.
It's a good thing mine is not on because I too
Do you?
gesticulate.
Yeah. That was
Wait, you can turn on like I can have like eyebrows.
Yeah, you can
Ooh.
do like full effects.
Ooh, wow,
You do, like lip effects.
I did not know
wow.
that. It's like all these filters on here and
Can,
stuff. It's
Yeah, you can
it
have
give
crazy.
you
filters.
it gives you
Oh.
lip color. Do you
Hmm.
see that? Wow.
Oh.
We're
Oh, there we
straight.
go.
Yes, leave it.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, this has to stop being a this is not a commercial for for Zoom right now.
We are not endorsed by Zoom.
We are
Zoom
Yeah.
not
does not endorse
endorsed by
us.
Zoom.
But if you would like to endorse us, give
Yeah.
us some money.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
figure this out later. Anyway,
Just
But yeah.
keep my
gesticulate.
arms down.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll keep my arms down.
Yeah. Right.
I was
Don't
scared
move.
that I was
Don't
gonna
move.
like start something else. Like something else was just gonna like fly out the corner.
But yeah, no, there's a ton of just Vox's head as an iPad, and it is so funny.
It
Yeah,
is my favorite thing.
It is, yeah.
it's so cool too that the show like inspires so many people to make art that like then there's like seconds after the show airs, there's already like I'm like people are so fast. Like you
Yeah.
already have drawn this so quickly and it's so cool.
And the
I
cosplays are
know. And the
crazy
cosplays,
too.
oh my God. Like the cosplays are insane, especially for
Insane.
like the Val cosplays that I see.
Oh,
I
they're
see
so
Yeah.
some
good.
really freaking cool ones.
They're so cool and they're so different. Like there's so many different ways to interpret that and um but it's also like so much work. And people are always like, "Do you want to do cosplay?" I was like, "No." Or like someone would have to do all of the work for me. I'd have to
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'd have to like show up and just be like, "All right, put everything on me, put makeup on me." Um,
Yeah.
but even that is like Valentino's outfits are like so over the top and like so sexy. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'd have to go to the
Hmm.
gym."
I know. I'm like, oh my God, he's buff. He's
I,
incredibly
yeah.
buff. Holy shit. He's ripped.
I know.
And then what is it? The official Amazon account making all of those thirst posts earlier on
I
in
know.
this.
I was like, what is happening?
I was like, who is this? This is Amazon? That did, like, I
They
thought
know
it
their
was like a
audience.
fan. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
No,
they
That's
do
they
know
true.
their audience.
they know their
I
audience. They
have,
know what
I
they're
have
doing.
mad respect for them.
They know.
Oh, it's so fun. No, the cosplay stuff is
Mhm.
always my favorite thing when I go to conventions to see. I can't imagine for you. You must see so many.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. It's so I feel like that was really when we did the very first Comic-Con that I went to and like I saw people lined up and in cosplay of all the characters, like I was like, whoa, this is on another level. Like this show is has reached people in such a like deep way. And for that to inspire people to like spend months creating these like looks that aren't they're so good like and I'm always like wait do you do this for a living like when people come to my table I'm always like this costume is incredible do you like are you a costume designer like do you are you a tailor or something they're like no I just do this for fun they're like
Yeah.
I'm a nurse like I'm a nurse or something I'm like what like this
Mhm.
I'm immediately like you should be making a career out of this kid you know but they're like, no, I just do it for fun. And I'm like, that's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I like that's so and I don't know what that must feel like, especially for Viv, who like created all of this to like
Yeah.
this was all in her brain, and then the voice actors we're such a small part of it. I mean, we help bring the characters to life, but we're like just one piece of such a big puzzle. And for Viv to like have created this whole world and then for people to show up and dress like the characters and to buy merch and to be like obsessed with it is insane. It's only 2 seasons. That's the
I
thing
know.
that's
Yeah.
crazy too. It usually takes shows so long to build a following and to get the fandom that intense. But like since it started on YouTube and it had that like indie cred, like for us to even start that first season and for it to already
Mhm.
be such a phenomenon was crazy. And I knew it. I like, well, or at least I remember like because I had seen the pilot in 2020 on YouTube and I was like, I was like, this is awesome. This is like musical theater and religious trauma. Like, sign me up.
Yeah.
It's my,
Perfect.
that's my bag. I love that.
Was made
And
for
so
this.
then I was like, literally, I made for it. But I was truly just like a fan. I was like, this is so
Mhm.
cool. Then I started following Viv, and I was just like, so exciting. Hello, Boss was a thing, and I was like, I love animation, and so
Mhm.
it was so cool to through Hazbin to then learn about this like indie animation world that's on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and so it was really cool to just be a fan of that. And then when the opportunity came to like audition for it, I didn't, well, the way I kind of joined the Helliverse was because my buddy Andrew Butler is a composer and an actor, but he wrote some songs for Hell of a Boss, and he wrote the Ballad of Stryker that was on Hell of a Boss, and he hired me to sing on it. And so I sing on that. Blake Roman also sings on it, and we were just like backup, like singing backup vocals.
Mhm.
And and then during my session, they were like, "Okay, Joel, we got it, but like do something, improvise something." And then I like improvised a little riff at the end of the episode, at the end of the song. That was like, "He's drinking," like stupid riff, and they're like, "Wait," they're like that was really funny. Are you an actor? And I was like, yeah, because they had just hired me as a singer. I was like just there to sing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
they're like, so they were like, oh, well, actually, we need someone to voice a character on this episode. So then I voiced the little like goat doctor that was on that episode with Luna,
Love her.
and it was super fun. And also, like, here's the thing: the whole time they couldn't see me. I was like, it was just like like a audio session because I was doing a gig in Maine. I was doing like a musical in Ogunquit, Maine, and they had booked me for the session. And we go to the studio, and I went to the studio in Portland, Maine, and I'm recording the session it's just in my ears. And Richard Horvitz is our voice director, but I didn't know that, and so all I could hear was his voice, and I was like, "Is that Invader Zim?" Like, am I? I was like, I was like, am I? I was like, am I doing a session with Invader Zim right now? Like, holy shit. But I kept it like really cool. I was like very cool. Did the whole session. Was like very when it was all done, we did Dr. Sumner, recorded it. Okay. I was like, oh Joel, that was so fun. Thank you so much. And then I was like, and then when the session was over, when it was like done, I was like, okay, guys, I have to say, like, I love you so much. Like, Richard, I've been such a huge fan forever, and fame. I love Hazbin Hotel. Like, it's so great. This is my first time doing something in animation. Is what I want to do forever. Like, thank you, thank you. So I got to like gush at them for a second, and then
Oh.
a little later, Viv was like, they were actually casting Hazbin Hotel, and she was like, they were having a lot of trouble casting Valentino, and they had like given, from what I've heard, they had given some offers to people who turned it down. They were like trying to get auditions for it, and no one could quite get it the right way, or at least the way it's been explained to me, like people really leaned into like his like villain dark side, and I kind of saw him as like a fucking bitch,
Yes.
like a sassy bitch who has like the capability to get really dark, but like
Yeah.
his default is like kind of fabulous. Um, And so then when they were casting for Hazbin, that's kind of how I submitted a tape, and then they loved it, and then now I'm here. I mean, it's so like it feels very so when I got the job, I knew it was going to be great. Or at least I knew that fans were going to be I knew that people were going to at least watch it. I didn't know if they were going to like it, I didn't know if they were gonna like it.
Mhm.
I was like, there's already such a big hype around it. They're at least gonna watch
Yeah.
the pilot. People could hate it, and then it's gonna tank the show, and then bye. Um, but a couple of months before the premiere, I was in Los Angeles, and I went to Viv's house, and she showed us um, like a finished animation of the pilot.
Mm.
And when I watched that, I was like, oh my God, people are gonna lose their shit. I was like, there's no way people are gonna hate this. Like, the animation was just like so top tier. The music was so good. Like, after that point, I was sort of like, I know that people are gonna really, this is gonna be like their whole personality.
Yeah. I mean, Rachel, ma. What? Rachel?
Not me.
Not
Not
Rachel.
me.
Not at all.
Not me, who's known about this show for like 4 months.
Since July, when I told her you
Wait,
should watch
what?
this show.
Yeah.
Oh, did you not know
I
this?
did not know
No.
the show.
So at
Oh yeah,
San
you're the one
Diego
that doesn't know.
Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah, at San Diego Comic-Con, I was like, Rachel, you should really watch the show because there was the Helliverse party or
We were at
whatever.
the Helliverse
Yeah.
party.
And I
Yeah.
was like, she just came as my +1, and I was like, no,
No, they
you will
invited
love
me.
this show. Oh, they invited you. That's right.
They
But
invited me.
Wow.
we went because everyone else was at Fandom, I think, right? And we went there, and because
You're
I was like,
really
I love
excited.
this show.
We
I
went-
really want to
yeah,
go.
because you liked the show, and I was like, I didn't want to go by myself, so I was like, if you like the show, I'll go with you.
That's what
Mhm.
it was. And so I told her all about it. Basically,
She explained everything
I explained
to me.
like everything. And I was like, just watch it. And then her flight got canceled and pushed to the next day. So at the hotel, you watched how many episodes?
I watched the first 5
Yeah.
episodes.
And then was like, oh,
No, I watched the first 4 because then I watched 5 on the plane ride back here.
Yeah.
Well, back to New York.
and she's just texting me the whole time. I was like, you're welcome. I told you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's
so
so
great.
good.
I mean,
It's so I didn't expect it to like hit me the way that it did, but it's like you said, it's a perfect mix of everything, and it's done all so well together that it's kind of hard not to hyperfixate on it.
Yeah.
Like the characters are great, the music is fantastic. I don't care what people say. I love the color of this world. I love
Oh,
the
I
muted
know.
reds. I'm
Yeah.
tired of that argument. I think it's great, and I think the character designs are fun as heck, and I love all of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so like rare to like as an actor, it's always you sometimes just have to take jobs that you don't
Yeah.
love, but they pay you money, so you do it. And then
Yeah.
and then you have to talk about that job that you maybe don't love, and you have to just pretend a lot and be like, yeah, it's really great. You know, yeah, the team was fun, or like it was such a fun challenge, whereas Hasbin is like so easy to be like, let's talk about it. I love it. Let's get
Yeah.
into it because it's great. Like it's so I have so much respect for Viv like creating this empire, like
Yeah.
really like having such a strong vision and like really not compromising it and I think that's what people are responding to as well. It's like
Mhm.
this feels so uniquely um the voice behind this feels so uniquely specific when most stuff nowadays is like noted to hell and it's like goes into
Mhm.
like development hell and what ends up being shown to audiences is this like really all the sharp edges are just shaved away because
Mhm.
some executive had a
Yeah.
note about this that we don't want to make sure that this
Mhm.
part might push too many buttons, let's bring this down. And so then what the audience ends up seeing is usually like kind of a little milk toast. So it's so cool to be like, this is a thing that's like, we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then like when Sam, we talked to him, he said he met with her, like at a burger place or something, right? Like before
Yeah.
he started
Restaurant of
working
some
with her.
sort.
And he said
Yeah.
she just fully unloaded everything that her plan was. And he said, for the most part, it has remained the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's been a
That's
few
very
changes.
rare.
And
'Cause they're always
especially
gonna be
going
like,
to
"Oh, let's-"
Amazon.
Yeah, like they want to stick their hands in the pot with everything. They want to change like one minute detail, but it's also like I feel like everything that I watched because I watched it right after Rachel did because she was just like, "Oh, like I think you'll like this," and then she wasn't expecting me to like it as much as I did. I was like, "That animation, I love animation. Like it's great," but I love it.
It's so
It's like
good.
probably like one of my favorite shows. Like it's just insane to me that the way you talk about it, it's like they just keep it the same and You don't see that, and I love it. Like,
Mm-mm.
just
Yeah,
Yeah.
the art. I also
leave
feel
it.
like the art style is so unique and
Hmm.
so like
Yes.
I love that it's like 2D and it's hand drawn
Hmm.
and it has this like
Yes.
sort of like retro style that's so great. And it's also like most of the leaders at Spindlehorse are like young women.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is also a really cool part of the show and also a big challenge because it's
Mhm.
a lot of these women being like, we know what we want, and then there's a lot of like older men who are just like, nah, we know how it is. Just
Yeah.
like listen to us, and then them being like, just let us do our thing, and then
Yeah.
and then they are allowed to do their thing, and they're like, all right, people are obsessed with it. They're like, yeah, just
Yeah.
trust that we know what we're doing.
Trust
Trust that
us.
we trust that
Sorry.
we know. Trust us.
I had to. I
Can
had
we talk
to.
about wait, can we talk
Oh,
about Christian Borle for a second for season two?
yes. Always an opportunity to talk about Christian
What a
Borle, who
dream.
killed it
What a
this
dreamo.
season. He was having the time of his life.
Oh
I
yeah.
And
know.
I'm
And
so
I've
happy for
been
that.
I'll also just like fangirl because such a huge part, I mean, such a really cool part of being a part of this show is that like I'm also like a fan of all these people. Like
Hmm.
as like a musical theater performer, like these are people that I've
Yeah.
just been like I've been obsessed with for so long and I've respected their work for so much. And it's
Yeah.
so cool now to like through this show to now be like peers and to like work together. And
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's like, I'm go to Comic Cons with Daphne Rubin Vega.
Yeah.
It was like Mimi and Rent. I'm like, do people know? I'm like, what do I want to like scream it. Like we're at these Comic Cons, like, do you know who this is? This is fucking Mimi. You know? Are you aware? Um,
Have a sign at
and then
her table at the next con.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, she's the blueprint, everybody. She's the reason why we're all here. Okay. Um, so
Respect.
and then like, Christian is so awesome. And
Mm.
and we do most of my scenes are with Vox, but we
Hmm.
don't record together.
Yeah.
We don't actually get to work together. Um, so it's nice to actually be able to like hang out and be friends now after. And that's kind of a cool byproduct of doing the Comic Cons is that we get to
Yeah.
like hang
Yeah.
out and like actually, and we're all theater kids who love being in a cast, who love like a cast party and like, are we gonna go out after? Like, are we gonna get
Yeah.
dinner? You know? And I feel like that's very because I think like the Hazbin cast. I think I can also see it in the when we go to the Comic Cons where
Hmm.
sometimes other casts from other shows are like, wow, you guys hang out all the time. And I'm like, yeah, like this is like
Yeah.
us being on, it's like we're on tour. Like we get to like hang out and get dinner and
Yeah.
catch up. And most people are like, you guys like each other like that? And I'm like, yeah, we actually we're not pretending. Like we actually like it's very fun to hang out. It's a nice byproduct of the Comic Cons is like getting to actually befriend each other and
Yeah.
really hang out because Amir's in LA and some of us are here in New York City, and so these are opportunities for us to all like connect, which is great.
I
Yeah.
love it.
That was one of the first things I noticed too. After I fell down the Hazbin rabbit hole, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch some Q&As and kind of like get a vibe out of the cast. And I'm like, you can't fake the
Yeah.
chemistry that you all have. Like it is clear that you all enjoy each other's presence and you enjoy hanging out with each other. You don't get that very often.
I also feel like, okay, here's the thing too. As theater people, we are, I'll speak for myself. As a person who's made most of my career in theater, you are so used to like the bare minimum. Like you're so used to working so hard for like
Mhm.
so little money. And that's just like part of the job is like, well, that's the theater. Like, you 8 shows a week and you're busting your ass. You have no life, but like you do it because you love it.
Yeah.
And so that's been that's been so ingrained in me as like a performer and as a professional. It's like, cool, this is the job and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Whereas like doing something like Hazbin Hotel is like the max like it's the max reward for like the least amount of work.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, because in reality, like when we're actually recording the episodes, it's I do like an episode in 2 hours, or like
Mhm.
if there's a song, then there's probably then the session's longer because we're recording the song, and that might take a little longer. But like we it's such like focused, intense work for just like a few hours, and then you let it go,
Yeah.
and then I never have to think about it again. 2 years later, the episode airs, and I'm like, oh wow, I did say all that crazy shit. I'm always like, I feel like I go into a fugue state when I'm in the booth, and I'm like tapping into
Who
my
knows?
id and tapping into my id and saying the worst possible things, and then I get out of it, and I'm like, wait, what was that? I was like, I can't believe I said that.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
spirit of Valentino possessed me for a moment.
Yeah.
Truly, truly. And honestly, it's fucked up my brain because now my brain goes places when I hear stuff, and I was just like,
Yeah,
why did you think that? That's horrible.
you
Then you're
can't
Val.
probably
escape
like, you know
him.
what? I need to
There,
write this down because maybe I'll use this at some
You're like,
point.
yeah, hold on.
kinda, yeah. I'll add that to my Valentino note on my phone. I was like,
Yeah,
Oh,
So,
famously the Florida line.
Yeah.
yes.
and that's canon now. It's canon. Val's from
I
Florida.
was so excited to tell you that at New York Comic Con. I was like, I have to lean over the table and whisper this to you so no one hears. But
Right.
that line made me laugh so hard. And apparently
I
everyone
know.
else loved it too. And I was like,
It's
thank
so
God everyone else
I
perfect.
loved
know.
this.
It's good. Also, all my love to Florida, but y'all are crazy. Florida, get it together.
No, there's a
Never.
reason
I
I
don't
won't
think
go
they
there.
ever will.
Get
I'll
together,
never get it
Florida.
together. What was it? My favorite things are like, people are like, Val probably died being a Florida man. Like one of the Florida man headlines. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
honestly, yeah.
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah, that's been one
for
of my
sure.
favorite jokes. So I'm like, I really hope that becomes canon.
I mean, I can't wait.
Don't quote me on that. I can't. I don't know the future of
we're
Valentino.
we're
However,
theorizing. We're
Yeah.
we're
theorizing
theorizing
at this
that
moment.
he did something real dumb. There's probably an alligator involved. You know.
Probably. That feels about right.
Some bath salts, some alligators. Who knows?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I remember how excited people got when we posted that clip of you saying that was improv on. Did you
Yeah.
post it on TikTok first? I think people were going crazy.
No, I posted on
Yeah.
on
Instagram first.
Twitter. I posted on
Twitter.
Twitter.
I
I posted on
one
Twitter,
of
and I was
those.
like, "Oh, I guess we should probably post this elsewhere
Yeah, people
and
were
let the
freaking
world
out.
know."
Yeah, I mean that what's fun now in scripts is like they'll just give me sometimes with Val, they'll just be like, and then Val responds. And then, and then, and then it's just me like coming up with shit, which is fun. And then so it's a mix of like improv, and then it's a mix of just like on the spot, like Viv will like come up with a line, or even Richard will be
Mhm.
like, oh, try this, try this. And that's been, yeah, it's been really exciting because I do feel like Valentino was a character that was a bit more nebulous in terms of like what his actual deal was when the
Mhm.
show started. Or
Mhm.
like I think Viv knew that he was one of the V's, one of the villains. He's a pimp who owns Angel Dust Soul. But in terms of like
Mhm.
exactly what his personality and what his like vibe was, I think they were still trying to figure that out. So it's been really fun to
Yeah.
feel like my participation in the show has been like, oh, I feel like we understand Valentino better because of what I've been able to like bring to the role. As and that's like so fun. Like it's so exciting to um feel like they like my input and they care
Mhm.
about it, and they're sort of like, the character well, so
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's
really
great.
rewarding to have a job like
Yeah,
that.
it's awesome. I also feel very spoiled for this to
Yeah,
be like my first job in animation like
he's
that,
setting the
and they're
bar
so
pretty
like
high. Yeah.
it's like way too high. And then it's also
It's like, where do I
like,
go?
Yeah.
oh my God, guys, I've had this fake eyebrows on this entire time. Stop
Stop.
it! You have to be kidding me. I was just like, why do my eyebrows look so weird? No, we have to cut this.
Guys, we have to restart this entire
We have
podcast
to
before this.
restart. Sorry about it. It's in my contract. I was like, why do my eyebrows look so weird? I was like, oh, I've had this. Okay.
I
Wow.
didn't even notice this.
I
If it
didn't
makes
even
you
Oh
feel
my
notice.
God.
better.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
God. This is gonna be horrible. You're gonna clip this out and be like, what the fuck was Joel doing with this? Like people,
he comes back and
he
the eyebrows are different.
like, does he think that no one can notice? What? Oh well,
Oh,
it's
and you
okay.
know
That's
what?
funny.
It looked, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
So if it makes you feel any better, I think people will notice
It's
now,
fine.
but I
Right.
Use
don't
it.
anyway.
It's fine.
Right.
It's fine. Use it. It's hilarious.
Just
It's
made you look fierce.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're keeping it
Like
on brand. You
really.
should have kept
Mhm.
the lip color too. It just had a whole
I feel
different
like that's
vibe going
okay.
on.
This is a real thing. I feel like, okay, Valentino is far more fabulous than I am, Joel Perez. And so I feel like people come at me with lots of like, yes, mama, queen, energy, And I was just like, hi. Like, hi, nice to meet
Terrified. You're
you.
like, hey.
Hello.
Yeah, they
But
really do.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
so funny because I'm like
I know.
when I talked to you, whenever Rachel was talking to Amir, I was just like, you do not give me Valentino vibes at all. I was just like, he's just a quiet man, just absorbing in
Just
everything and just looking
vibing.
around. I was like, I'm just gonna talk to him. I was like, I'm bored. They don't want me in
Bored.
this conversation.
It's like but I think I kind of love it too because it's like it's not just about like me, it's also like what the character represents, and I think that allows people to feel like seen and validated and to be like, yes, but this Valentino lets me sort of tap into this like super fabulous part of myself, which
Mhm.
is there. I mean, he's there, but I don't necessarily lead with that.
Yeah.
Um, but I do feel like sometimes I just get a lot of intense energy at me sometimes. I'm just like, okay, wow, that's a lot. Um,
You're like, it's 10 a.m. Hold on.
like it's 10 a.m.
Let
Yeah.
I
me
think
acclimate to this.
I think you need to talk to a therapist about that.
And the fans are so like intense, but in like a good way. Like
Mhm.
genuinely,
Yeah,
they all mean so well. They just it's like they like you said, it's like it's so easy to connect with these characters and kind of like get that vibe and feel seen that they're like, this is how I'm gonna be. And it's like I'm glad. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that they're able to feel comfortable enough to kind of do that and be able to go to cons and like go out and be
yeah,
like, this is who I am and this is who I want to feel comfortable as, like, 24/7. Maybe they're
hmm
working up to it. Who knows?
And it's a way for them to find like community too, to find other
Mhm.
people who love it as much as they do. I feel like I love that the show is very like unapologetically queer,
Mhm.
and because of that, the fan base is also pretty queer or like very open and just like be
Yeah.
whoever you want to be. And then something I take for granted living in New York City, where like here it's like you can be gay and no one really cares. But
Yeah.
that's not the case in other parts of the country. And so it's really cool to go to when we do these Comic Cons in like the middle of Texas or like in Ohio, or like when you can tell that there's like a real lack of community there, and that these Comic Cons and being around other Hazbin Hotel fans lets you like
Right.
this is I'm trying out my like my given name, like I'm
Mhm.
trying out I'm experimenting with drag for the first time, like through it's cosplay, but it's still me kind of like um being outside of the like gender norms, which is like it's so cool and very and it's like a part of the job that I didn't realize was going to be part of the job. It's like so rewarding that it feels like it's not just a silly cartoon about demons. It's also about
Yeah.
people finding community and acceptance, and
Hmm.
it's great. And like parents being able to connect with their kids better and being like, I don't know, my kid loves this like demon show, and like now I love it, and we've gotten so much closer because of it.
Yeah. No,
It's very
absolutely.
Uh,
cool.
It is really cool. Like you don't get a lot of communities like this, especially like the
Yeah.
last I came from Our Flag Means Death before this, and they
Hmm.
had a very similar fandom where
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
all about the queer community and
Hmm.
kind of like uplifting each other and making everybody feel safe. And it's just so nice that we can, in this shit show of a world that we currently have and everything that's
Yeah,
going on, it's like we
Mhm.
can have these nice little pockets of happiness that a show, like it's just something as simple as a show is
Yeah.
able to bring to us.
totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really special. And it's not like I don't take it for granted either. It's like very um I made my Broadway debut in a musical called Fun Home, and that was about based on a graphic novel by Alison Bechdel. And she kind of came up with the Bechdel test that's like about
Yeah.
feminism in art and TV
Mhm.
and film and stuff. But her memoir is about her coming out as a lesbian to her parents, and then a couple of months later, her father committed suicide. And it's believed that it's because he was closeted himself, and like her coming out kind of unearthed all these like trauma within him, and it's a beautiful show. And that was a real that felt like a real culturally relevant and like important piece of musical theater, that it wasn't just like it isn't just a musical. It's like you come and people, I felt like people were changed after they watched the show. Like, and at the stage door we'd have these like great conversations with people being like, wow, my parents are like, I think my dad was closeted and we never had a conversation, and like all these sort of like secrets were coming out. And we won like the Tony Award for Best Musical that year. And so
Mhm.
when that happens, it's really cool because whenever tourists come into town, they're usually just like, oh, I'm gonna go see whatever won Best Musical. And like they
Yeah.
might not know anything about the show, but they're like, it
Mhm.
won Best Musical, so I'm gonna go see it. So there were a lot of people who were just like, this is not what I expected I was gonna be watching. Because it was like kind of a downer, but also
Yeah.
but also I think very hopeful. And like those are the audiences that I actually loved performing for the most, because they were like, I thought I was going to see Wicked, but this isn't Wicked. But also like I think I understand queer people better, you know?
Yeah.
At least
So
they
it's
come out
like,
with that.
yeah, they're very rare. I mean, it's so rare to have like a to work on a show that also feels like that's like
Mhm.
artistically fulfilling and then also feels like culturally relevant, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like having being a part of Has Been feels very similar too, where it's like it isn't just like a cartoon. It's like about a lot more than that, which is cool.
Absolutely is. It's so good.
Yeah,
I love it.
I know. Same. I do too. I can't wait for season 3, which I am terrified for. But
I
Stop.
know.
Stop.
Oh.
You stop that.
The way
Candy
the
your
season
hands,
ended, I
Tess.
was
Buckle
like,
up.
oh my God. I can't wait. I was like, how are we
there's
ending
so
now?
much I
Can
want
we
to
just
know.
get the next season now? That'd be great.
That'd be
I'd
so
love to see
fun.
it. I mean, I want to see it. We recorded it like, geez, earlier this year, I want to say, like
I couldn't
early.
remember what you last recorded, and I think you guys said you recorded season 3.
Yeah, we already recorded three. And when did we finish that? I feel like it was like earlier this year, like in February or something.
Wow. So have you done four
So,
then? Or can you tell us?
hmm.
Ah! Oh my God. Like,
That's the thing about
stop.
this show. I've never been this invested in the storyline
I'm
of a
invested in
show like
literally
ever.
everybody. I know.
And I am a fan. I've like been a fangirl since birth. Everything I have, I become obsessed with, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is still like the
That's me
one
too.
thing that I'm like, I need to know
Yeah.
what's
And what's
happening
cool
in
is
this
that
show.
like this is just I mean, I have such respect for Viv because it's like it's not just Hazbin Hotel. Like she's created this like whole like Helliverse, which then
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
like, and this is just like the Pride Ring. Like there's all these other parts of hell that can be explored through many different
Mm-hmm.
like iterations. So, I'm hopeful that this is like between Helliva and Hazbin that there's just
Mhm.
like a lot more to come that's
Yeah.
also like musical focused. I talk about it with a lot of my like actor friends in New York City. They're all just like, I want to get in Hazbin Hotel. And I'm like, good luck. Um, but I was like, I snuck in there. I was like, I'm not famous, and I'm one of the, I got in before it got
You
too
slid.
popular. I slid right in. Um, and but I know that Viv just has like a lot of other projects that are like musical focused. So like, there's going to be a lot more. Hopefully, that there'll be a lot more opportunities for that kind of thing.
So good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
music
Also, I'm
this
like, just,
season's so good too.
oh my
Oh
God, the
yeah.
music this season. Valentino got his own little
I
I
know.
solos, and I
hmm
know.
was so happy. I was like, finally, we get
That
to
was really
hear
fun. I
it.
mean, it's so fun to sing and like you know the show the show is also like so stacked. Like there's just so many great singers that like you want
Uh-huh.
everybody like every single person in this cast deserves like a solo song where they just get to show all their tricks, you know?
Yeah.
So just like patience, it just takes time. The cast is too talented. It's too good.
Yeah.
Um, and but like a lot of the songs in season two are like so great. Like I love like Losing Streak. I remember hearing Losing Streak for the first time. I was just like, Sam, this song is so good. Like not even as a Hazbin Hotel song, like just as a like
Yeah.
jazz standard. I was like, people need to be singing this. And then Blake sounded like so gorgeous.
I know.
Like an angel.
Hmm
Just
Like
like
an
an
angel.
angel.
Ha
Oh,
ha ha.
oh, like an
Ba-da-da.
angel. I see. I see.
I did that. I
Ah.
did. I did the thing. I did the thing. Anyway,
Rachel, I was like, did she
sorry.
do that on purpose or
I
not?
actually did not do that on purpose. I fully spaced out. I was
But
just like, it sounds
here's
like an
my
angel.
question though. For like season 3, I know you
Yeah,
can't elaborate, you can't
yeah,
say much. But it's just
yeah.
like even like at the end of season 2 with the whole like Val being like, "Yeah, I know I saved the world from like ending. I saved
Yeah,
everything." Like, do we
I
think
guess I
that's
like
gonna
saved
strike his
everyone.
like is that just gonna ignite
Vox,
his
I don't know him.
ego, make him just be like, "You know what? I'm better than everybody now. Fuck off."
I don't know.
I feel like it's already there, right at the end of
I don't
Yeah.
the
know. You'll
season.
have to tune in and find out.
We definitely will.
Damn.
Don't worry about that. I do want to
I
know
mean,
when he's gonna get a Christmas song too, though, because like, what the
oh,
heck?
Oh my God, please.
I mean that was so fun. I mean, the like Egg Boy Pencha song was so funny.
I wasn't expecting
And
Pinchas.
we
No,
also,
that shocked me. I was like,
did you guys go on the like website, like the Vox Tech website?
yes.
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 Yeah.
Like that shit is so funny, and I'm like, it's so I hope like that went really well. I'm hoping and I'm confident that in the future seasons there's just gonna be a lot more just like extra
Because
extra
we got
like
the
Easter
Other
Valentino
egg
stuff.
fun stuff.
drawing tutorial.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
drawing
like,
with
what?
Val, which is
So
the
dumb.
funniest. It's so
It
funny.
was
It
so fun,
kills
and that was
me.
like so last minute. They were like, I got like a call from my agents to be like, they need you to like record like tomorrow, and I was like, what? I was like, for what? I was like, it's like for Hasbin, like an episode. They're like, no, it's like a commercial. It would just go, and then I like, it was like Sam and Sky were kind of running the session, and they were like, okay, we're recording it on a Tuesday. Like this is gonna really be released on Friday, so we have 3 days to like put this all together. So,
Wow.
and they had this whole script, and I just read it and did a bunch of. And they, Sky Henwood, who's like one of the directors, she's like the Vox, she loves Vox and Val and
Yeah,
the
I've seen
V's. Like
that.
those are like her babies. So the script was like so funny that they wrote. And I think it's fun to be like, how are these characters when they are alone and when they're like with each other? Like what are Vox and Val like together? Because
Yeah.
um he isn't, Val isn't always a raging asshole. Like he's also it was so funny for it to be this very domestic scene of them like, I'm ordering dinner, like what do you want?
I love that so much.
It's so dumb.
It was so cute. I was like, oh my God, this show's gonna make me actually ship them together.
Yeah.
I
Like it's
know.
adorable. And yeah, it's the things like that that the how much people love that. I'm hoping we get to see more little things like that
I know. It's so
in
I
the
hope so
coming
funny.
too.
seasons.
It's so fun. And I'm like, it's also not like it is the kind of job that I'm like, anything you want, I'll do it. I loved it. I it's a real blessing to be a part of it. So I'm like, anything you guys want, I'm there. Let's do it.
Yeah, Christmas next year. We need a whole album with
Well, I
Geeky,
did
everybody.
talk to when I talked to Sam about that. He's like, the idea is on the table.
See,
So I am sincerely hoping that we can
Oh yeah.
have an entire Christmas album with everybody singing songs.
because they turned around
As
that
characters.
Egg Boys Christmas fast. Like
So
that
quick.
was crazy. I was surprised
Yeah.
we got it before Christmas.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was gonna be after
And
Christmas.
Blake was
there's
like,
no
"This
way.
is gonna sound awful," and like I'm listening to this, and I was like, "This is beautiful."
I was like,
I don't know
Blake,
how
you
you
can't
did
do
this.
awful. Like,
Like,
You know, that egg boy, so cute.
I know. Well, what Christmas song would you like Valentino to sing? What would you pick?
Ooh.
that's like,
That's what I was
Probably
gonna ask, too.
Santa Baby. Santa
That's a
Baby.
good one.
Ooh,
Santa
yes.
Baby.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
perfect.
That would be
Everyone wants
good.
Angel to sing that one. And I'm like, I feel like Angel would have a
No.
different one in mind. That's more
start
of a Val one.
It could start with Val being like coquettish to Santa, and then at a certain point in
Yeah.
the song, it turns where he's like, "Now Santa, I need you to like."
Yeah.
He's the one in charge. Who's like
Oh,
I love it.
he has
sending
tied
this
up
to
Santa
Sam.
Claus. Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
now I
sending
It
need
this to
starts with
that.
him
Sam.
just being like, "Oh, come on, Santa," and then it turns into him being like, "Get the fuck over here, Santa Claus."
Yes.
Disarms with that
hmm
lovely charm that he has.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my god. I am gonna send that to Sam. We'll be like, Sam,
Sam, we have an
get
idea.
Do
this-
it.
Yes, get this
We
going.
all
I mean,
need to
a
be involved.
Has Been Holiday album sounds great. I'd be so down. It needs to be and you know, Mariah Carey needs some competition,
It's true.
and
Yeah.
it's about time.
Yep. I was like, I want a claymation holiday special. Like, are you
Oh,
kidding me?
sure.
Like classic
That would be
Yeah,
claymation
like
style.
those like Rankin
cute.
God,
Bass.
Rudolph the
Yes.
Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's so good.
That
totally.
would be really fun.
Just get to work. No big deal.
We're giving them all these ideas for free, guys. Come on.
Yes, but not for free because then we'll have them and it will be worth it.
That is true. That is
Right?
very true.
See, that's our payment. Our payment is it being done. And we get to watch it.
Our reward is
Our
being able
reward.
to see it.
Exactly. Yes. I do want to ask a like actual question.
Yeah.
When did you know about Vox controlling Angel? Like, I'm curious how that would inspire how you would
When I
play
read
or
it.
anything. Really?
Yeah, when we read it, I didn't know. I had no clue. Like when I read the script, I was like, "Wait, what?
Oh,
Vox has been like hypnotizing Angel this whole time?" I had no clue until I read it. Yeah. Because Viv, she tells us some stuff, and then there's other stuff where I
Mhm.
think she just tries to like keep it close to her chest, just to be
Yeah.
like, I don't necessarily want it to get out. Also, like, and it's an interesting challenge sometimes as an actor to be like, because you don't want to like do anything that negates something that is like lore that's going to come up later, but you still have to like have a point of view. And like, there's certain stuff where like that didn't. Had I known that, I don't think that would have changed my performance at all.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done anything different. Um, but if anything, it makes it like a really out of left field because like when that happens, you're like, whoa, no, I had no clue, and nor was I subconsciously or consciously. There was no way I could have um like projected that or been like, I'm giving that detail away.
Yeah.
So there's a lot in the show that we don't because we really just get the episodes that we are in.
Mhm.
To if I'm not in an episode, I don't get that episode. I don't really know what happens in it.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's like a lot of stuff that is just really um like higher level story stuff that they just don't really tell us about it.
Yeah.
Which is good because I'm like, I don't trust that I'll not spoil it.
Well, as of now, you also know 3 and 4, so that's gonna be
I do.
that's crazy. I
Yeah,
feel
and
like
you
I
haven't
would have
spoiled
such
it
a
yet, so
and
be
you
proud of
haven't. You're
yourself.
like, no.
no.
Well, I
Like,
feel like I would
do.
be like, wait, what do you know? Like I would be combining. I wouldn't be good at keeping straight what is each season,
That
especially
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
unreleased.
what
that
was
is hard.
it?
That is
Get it.
hard.
Yeah, because I remember at New York Comic Con when we were talking at the table with Kamiko,
Mhm.
Amir, and Blake had to pause, and he's like, "I don't remember which season this was. Hold on."
Yeah.
I'm like, I could
He's
not
like,
keep
he's like,
any of
before
that
I answer
Yeah.
straight.
this question, let me think
Yeah.
for a
He's
minute.
like, I don't know what season this was.
Yeah.
No, that's real. That's really real because there's a lot of stuff where we're like, wait, is this from 3 or 4? Or like, when did I?
Yeah,
Can
because
I
you
say
record it
this
so
yet?
far
I'm like,
back,
hmm
Yeah.
and you don't always rewatch. And it's like, yeah, you don't always rewatch episodes or remember what you've done because it's like, yeah, you did that so long ago. Who's
We
gonna
do it so
remember
long
that?
ago. We do it so long ago. Also, I don't. At least the dialogue, we don't memorize it because it's
Yeah.
just in front of us. So we'll usually get it like a couple days before a session just to review it and if I have any questions. But it's not like I'm like living with it and it's memorized and it's like something I do all the time. You sort of like work on it and then I go home. So then later it's like, wait, what? Yeah, I'm like, what season was that? Like, where did we get to?
Yeah. Yeah, because we were like asking Amir about Rosie, and he's like, "Well, hold
Oh
on,
yeah,
what do
he.
you know?" And I was like,
Oh yeah, he did
"Yeah."
ask that.
He
Oh
was like,
yeah.
"Where are we at here? What do you know about
Yeah,
Rosie and Alistair?" We were like,
Because
yeah.
didn't he
"Okay."
tell us when we had him on here? Didn't he say he knew about Rosie
In season
in
one,
season one? Yeah.
No,
he
I
didn't know
thought he
about
said that
that.
at the table though too.
Did he say at the
Yeah, yeah,
table
he
though
did.
Yeah,
too? He
he knew
did.
from
Oh, okay.
season one what was
I
happening.
don't remember anything. So
hmm
He said he knew from season one, but I said, "When did you know about it?" And he was like, "Well, what do you know? Because I don't remember what is in season two and what is in the
you
future."
all have so much you have to just keep locked
I
up.
That's got to be difficult.
Yeah, and I also don't want to ruin it. Like, I don't want to ruin the experience for the fans. It's like you don't want to
Yeah,
know that stuff. Like, wait for it to happen. Like, wait to watch it. I
I
know it's
know.
and
I
it's
know.
it's so hard because you have to wait for so long because but it's because it's so good
Right.
because the quality is so great because the story is so detailed.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's
And the
very.
animation is so good. That's why it takes some time. Could rush it and
Mhm.
get it out, but then why would
Didn't
you
look
want that?
terrible, and we
Right,
wouldn't like
Yeah,
exactly.
that.
yeah.
I would be
Right.
complaining. I'd be like, I'm not watching this. This looks like
I
shit.
mean, that's a lie. You'd still probably watch it, but you'd be
It's a
mad the whole time.
lie.
That's like I'm personally like I'm working on this like indie animated project that I'd written like the pilot of it like 10 years ago and had been like pitching it around to networks and like, Amazon
Yeah.
and Netflix, whatever. And I got really good feedback, but no one ever like pulled the trigger on it.
Hmm.
And then, during the pandemic, I was like, I'm gonna learn character animator on Adobe and I'm gonna like do it. I'm gonna do it myself. And I was like, this looks like garbage. This
Is it
it looks
does
so
it
bad.
does it look like home movies? Have you ever
Kind
seen
of like
home
home
movies?
Oh, I liked home movies.
But not even like home movies because it's like you create these like puppets and then it like maps to your face. So like when you move your mouth, like the mouth
Yeah.
kind of moves and they're
Oh.
little. So it's very, but it just looks like shit. And I was just like, I can't put this out. Like if I put this out in the world, people are gonna be like, this looks like shit, and like the project's dead. And so it's been nice now because of Hasbin, I've like actually met animators. So like you are good at this now let's collaborate and make this so that it looks good, that it like competes with the industry. Because it's sometimes you only get like one shot, and if you put it
Hmm.
out there and it looks like shit and people are like immediately turned off, then they're like, no, I don't want to watch that. Um, so it's been a nice like it's been a I didn't know that being a part of Has Been would then now allow me to meet more people in that industry who then like can help with my own projects to like, okay, cool, let's keep working and collaborating on something else.
I love
Because
that.
I love it. Because I love it. I want to do it. I love doing
I'm
silly voices.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited for
It's great.
this one. I can't wait to
I
see
love it.
it.
I know. You didn't even tell us anything about it, and I'm excited.
It's called Bodega Cats, and it's
That's all I
Now I'm
about
know.
even more into it.
it's sort of like a world. It's a world of anthropomorphic animals and a family of Puerto Rican cats that run a bodega in
Oh my
Spanish
god,
Harlem.
yes.
So it's kind of like Bob's Burgers, or like every episode is like its own little story.
Oh my
And that's just like shenanigans that the family gets into.
Oh
I
my
want it to be
god.
like kind of thing that you like get a little stoned and then like watch it, like quote it with your brothers, just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, did you watch Bodega Cats last week? Oh man, it's so funny. Yeah, kind of what I want. That's what I want. I want it to be like kind of dumb,
Yeah.
not too deep, just really silly jokes. And so the plan right now is we're animating it, and then
Mhm.
hopefully in 2026 we'll release it, at least the first episode. If that goes well,
Yep.
then I
Yeah.
keep making them. Because honestly, it's been really inspiring to be a part of Has Been as an actor, just to be
Yeah.
like, it's nice to just make it and put it out there and let the audience respond to it. Because I've had other experiences where I've like sold a TV show to a network and it was great, and then because of because of things out of my control, that TV series now sits on a shelf somewhere, and
Mhm.
like
Hmm.
audiences will never get to see it. And I still got paid and it was a cool experience, but I was
Yeah.
like, I want to make stuff for people to watch and to actually
Yeah.
consume it and like engage with it. So it feels exciting now with especially animation feels like so indie, like or at least that is the way to start because people don't have a lot of imaginations and they don't have a lot of trust that because even when I was pitching Bodega Cats around, I got a lot of really good feedback. We're like, we love this. Like, what is this based on? And I'm like, it's based on nothing. I made it up. And then they'd be like, oh, you know what? Actually, we're looking for like a book series to adapt, or like we're looking for this to adapt. Like it needs to be what's the IP that it's
Yeah.
based on?
Just
And
be
I'm like,
original.
just be original. I mean, look at
Just be
Hazbin
Ugh.
original.
Hotel. It's an
Yeah,
original
literally, look at
idea.
Has
It's
Been.
not based on something. It's not based on a
Yeah,
YA novel series or some shit.
I like
But
original
I think
things.
it's nice to I'm glad that Bodega Cats didn't sell because there is a world where it just like ends up on a shelf somewhere and no one ever gets to see it, or then
Mhm.
becomes something totally different than what I
Mhm.
wanted it to be. Whereas now you just get a lot more like creative control and a lot more like I'm just gonna make the shit I want to make and then hopefully people like it. And then
Yeah,
if you like it, I'll keep making more.
That's perfect. Well, that's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. That's very
I'm
cool.
Thank you.
excited.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked. My husband did all the character designs. He's an illustrator
Husband.
and visual artist. So like he did all the character designs and um so it's been great. I'm really excited to put it out into the world in
Oh, that's
2026. That's a big
lovely.
goal of 2026.
Well,
So while y'all wait for
Manifest.
Has season
right. It's
three,
perfect.
we'll get
Yeah.
something else to tide you over.
And it will be amazing, and I cannot wait. I love the resurgence that we're kind of getting in animation
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
Yeah.
severely missed good anime, especially good adult animation. Like I grew up with like Family Guy and Futurama and all of
Yeah.
those, and like those really shaped my personality. And kind of didn't see a
Hmm.
lot. Like those are like those went on. Family Guy somehow is still going on, but it's like we
Yeah.
kind of need like a newer take on some adult animation and some more
And they're
original
still doing,
ideas.
they still
Yeah,
there's like Crapopolis and like
yeah.
there's like Universal Basic guys. I don't think they're very funny or just like it feels like it's like a weird algorithm
That's the
like
thing is it's like a
Yeah.
lot of it isn't
cranked them
like
all out.
very funny.
It's just
Yeah.
not
They
very
try too
funny.
hard.
Or
I
it
agree.
feels very like very milk toast. It feels very like not I'm like I can tell as having been on the other side of it, I was like, I feel like this has just been noted to death. I feel
Yeah.
like it started as this like really cool, weird thing, and then in the
Mhm.
development process, it turned into this like other thing that's like just not as exciting or weird or quirky or specific. And that's just, I mean, but that's also just kind of network television, is
Yeah.
that.
That's true.
And which right now network TV is kind of we're in a weird time right now with television because
So
everything's like dead.
it's so weird. And everything is streaming, and there's 1,000 streaming services. And so it's like, it's crazy.
It's a
And also
crazy time.
and
Hmm.
as an artist it's hard too because or I think like with streaming, and this is not to talk shit about Amazon, but like we actually the actors of Hazbin Hotel, we don't make much money from recording Hazbin Hotel.
Mhm.
Like from the actual job of recording Hazbin Hotel, because it
Mhm.
goes direct to streaming. It's not like we're getting residuals.
Yeah.
It's not like we're the Simpsons cast who's just like
Yeah.
raking it in because there's ad revenue and like there's
Yeah.
syndication and then there's like all these other ways that you make money. Like Hazbin
Mhm.
goes directly to Amazon, so it's like you get paid for the recording of the episodes and then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So it's really like the conventions have been a really great way to like actually make a living and like
Yeah.
make an income because can't afford to live off of like what we actually record, like the work that we do to record the episodes. And that's just contracts. That's just the way that
Yeah.
streaming and SAG work. And it's
Mhm.
no one's fault. It's just like that's just kind of how the
Yeah.
industry is right now. So if I didn't know before being a part of Hazbin Hotel, I had no idea that Comic Cons were a thing. I had no
Really?
clue. No, I knew that they were a thing like vaguely, but I'd never gone to a Comic Con.
Okay.
I didn't know that that was like a um so then when we started doing Hazbin, and they're like Richard Horvitz was the one who was like, "Oh, you got to go to a Comic Con." I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like the stage door if they pay you. I was like, I've been doing this for free my entire career. I could have been charging this whole time. Are you kidding me?
Next stage door is gonna be $5.
Yeah.
Kinda. I was like, we're gonna do a revolution. We're gonna do a revolution on Broadway, like the stage door now. No, we could never do that.
Could you imagine?
No. That would like totally kill
It's
the
$5
stage
if
door.
you didn't go to the show that night.
Ah,
It's
there
free
you
if
That
you
I will
went to
go.
the
say.
show.
That.
That I will say now going forward when I do shows, I'm like, I will only sign playbills. Like if you did the playbill, if you saw the show, I will support you. If you're just like some
Yeah.
rando who's just like, hi, I'm
Okay.
like, did you actually see what I just did? No.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of
Right.
here.
I would never. I can't believe people that do that. I go
Oh
to a
yeah.
stage door with the playbill. That is the only thing I have, and then I leave.
Oh no,
And I'm
people
like,
show
thank
up
you
with
for your
like
time.
they've got like carts full of stuff, they got
Oh,
I see
jeez.
those.
oh
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
those people. We've had
We saw
some
that at
annoying.
Network with Bryan
That's it. Yeah,
Cranston, and they
network.
were
When we went to
like,
Mm,
that,
he literally came out and he's like, I'm only
they're
signing
like,
playbills. And I was like, good, because half that crowd dispersed. And I was like,
yeah.
yeah, and I
great.
was like,
I love
yes, it's my
this.
time.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. That just feels so rude. People are just ballsy in this world, aren't they? They're just gonna
They
show
are.
up
And I'm
and
like, I'm not gonna that's your journey.
Not shaming you, but
I'm grateful that you care and
yeah.
that you're excited. However, like, let's be normal. Let's not push
And
it
we
too
will
hard.
also be starting a season 1 rewatch and recap for this January when there is nothing going on and no fun things happening. So we will theorize and connect some dots, maybe. We may have some more special guests, some familiar faces. We'll have to see. Hopefully, we do. Make sure you keep clicking us and viewing us and checking us out on Spotify so we can get more people on here.
yes, Spotify and TikTok and Instagram, and then of course here on YouTube and Twitter,
Yes.
everywhere.
And
I
Twitter.
guess
Just everywhere.
just everywhere.
Type in Hazbin Hotel Pod anywhere. We are your only source. Trust us with your Hazbin Hotel
Trust
news.
us. I can't do it. I can't even do that voice. I'm not even
I
gonna
don't know
try.
how he does that. Like, I do not understand how he does that.
He's amazing.